Today, we're diving into stablecoins, the part of the crypto world that's actually trying not to be a wild roller coaster. It's all about bringing some calm to the chaos. So let me ask you a simple question. Why isn't anyone buying their morning coffee with Bitcoin? I mean, think about it. The price of your latte could literally change between the time you order and the time you tap to pay. That right there is the core challenge for so many cryptocurrencies. And this chart? It shows you everything you need to know. On the left, you've got something like Bitcoin. The price is all over the place, up and down like crazy. But on the right, you have a currency like the US dollar. It's stable, it's predictable. This huge difference is exactly why stablecoins were invented in the first place. So, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with crypto's biggest problem, then look at the stable solution. We'll break down the three main ways these coins stay pegged, talk about what happens when that peg breaks, and wrap up with the big quest for trust. All right, let's jump right in. Section 1. What is the fundamental issue that stablecoins are trying to solve? Look, here's the bottom line. For crypto to be anything more than just a speculative asset, it has to have some stability. You can't run a business, you can't pay your employees, you can't even budget for groceries if your money's value can drop 10% overnight. It's the single biggest hurdle to mainstream adoption. So what's the fix? How do you get all the cool benefits of crypto, like the speed and the 24/7 global access, without the heart attack-inducing price swings? Well, this is where stablecoins make their grand entrance. So what is a stablecoin really? At its core, it's a crypto token that's designed to hold a steady value because it's pegged to something in the real world, and most of the time, that's the US dollar. The whole idea is simple. One stablecoin is supposed to equal $1, always. It's built to stay still.
I absolutely love this quote. It's the perfect way to think about them. In the wild world of crypto trading, stablecoins are the safe harbor. They're the reliable yardstick that everything else is measured against, letting traders jump out of a volatile coin without having to cash out into traditional money. But their use goes way, way beyond just trading. If you live in a country where the local currency is collapsing from inflation, a dollar-pegged stablecoin can be an absolute lifeline. And when it comes to sending money across borders, they are a total game changer.
Let's put some real numbers on this. If you want to send money overseas through a bank right now, it can be painfully slow and super expensive. We're talking fees of up to 6%, and it might take 3, 4, even 5 days to get there.
Now look at this. With stablecoins, that exact same transfer can happen in minutes, not days. And the cost? On a good network, it can be practically zero. It just completely bypasses the old, slow, and expensive system.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but how in the world do they actually keep that price locked at $1? It's not magic, right? Turns out there are three main ways to do it, and each one has its own set of trade-offs. First up, we've got the most popular and easiest to understand, fiat-backed stablecoins. The idea is dead simple. For every one digital coin that exists, the company that issues it holds one real US dollar, or something just as safe, like a government bond, in a bank. It's a one-to-one backing. Super straightforward. Next, things get a little more, well, crypto native. These are crypto-backed stablecoins. Instead of dollars in a bank, they're backed by other crypto, like Ether, that's locked up in a smart contract. Now, because crypto prices are so volatile, they are over-collateralized. That just means you have to lock up, say, $150 worth of Ether just to create $100 worth of the stablecoin, creating a safety buffer.
And then there's the wild card, algorithmic stablecoins. Now hang on, because this is where it gets weird. These aren't backed by anything tangible. Instead, they rely on some seriously complex code, an algorithm, that automatically prints or burns tokens to try and keep the price at exactly $1 through market incentives.
This table does a great job of laying it all out. For fiat-backed coins, the big risk is whether you can trust that the reserves are really there. For crypto-backed, it's a huge market crash wiping out the collateral. And for algorithmic coins, well, the primary risk is literally a complete and total systemic collapse. And that brings us to a very important story. So let's talk about what happens when that stable part of the name just breaks. We have to look at the cautionary tale, the infamous collapse of the algorithmic stablecoin called Terra USD. You see, the big flashing red light problem with these algorithmic designs is that they're basically a house of cards. They're built on nothing but pure confidence. The system only works if everyone believes it will work. The moment that faith cracks, the whole thing can spiral out of control. And that's exactly what happened. Here's how the death spiral went down. First, the price of UST slipped just a tiny bit below $1. The algorithm kicked in, as designed, and started creating a sister token, Luna, and selling it to buy UST and push the price back up. But the selling pressure on Luna was relentless, and its price started to crash. That's when confidence shattered. Everyone rushed for the exits, panic selling both tokens, and the algorithm was completely overwhelmed. The system just broke.
And the damage? Just look at this. It's staggering. A token that was supposed to be worth exactly $1, a stablecoin, fell all the way to 12 cents within 3 days. Billions and billions of dollars in value just evaporated.
That collapse wasn't just some random crypto project blowing up. It sent shockwaves through the entire industry. It was a massive wake-up call that kicked the global push for regulation into high gear and really highlighted this urgent search for a truly, truly reliable digital dollar. So you can probably guess what happened next, right? The regulators showed up. In Europe, they passed a huge piece of legislation called MiCA, setting tough rules about reserves and transparency. In the US, similar laws are being worked on. The goal everywhere is the same: build trust and make these digital dollars as safe and reliable as the cash in your bank account. And all of this leads to a really fascinating idea in the space called the stablecoin trilemma. The theory is basically that you can't have it all. It's a pick 2 out of 3 problem. You can have price stability and decentralization, but you lose capital efficiency. Or you can have stability and efficiency, but then you need a central company to trust. You always have to make a sacrifice somewhere. And that leaves us right here with the billion-dollar question. Is it even possible to solve this trilemma? Can one single design ever give us the rock-solid stability of the dollar, the freedom of a decentralized network, and the speed of a purely digital system all at the same time? The answer isn't clear yet, but the race to build it is shaping the entire future of money.